Hey guys, welcome back to VM Nation. Guys, this is going to be an amazing episode. I'm your host, Richard Kaufman, also known as the Comeback Coach. Guys, I thought we were going to be talking about SEO, but we might hit on that a little bit. But we're really going to be talking about the stuff you need to actually start, grow, monetize, and then possibly exit having a business. Because my brother Nathan is an amazing man, great father, husband, a guy I really look up and admire. But he also took a company from $5,000 to 12 million in 4 years. Is that right? Or was I reading that wrong?
No, that's right. I mean, on top of that, we had zero paid ads the entire time and no US employees. So we had a team of 30 VAs in the Philippines. It was a freelance marketplace. So we had thousands of freelancers on the platform, but our internal team was 30 VAs in the Philippines doing everything from sales calls to bookkeeping, to operations, customer service, you name it. And we were fortunate enough to exit it in November 2019.
So before I even get started, because if I don't remember, I have a traumatic brain injury, and if I don't remember to ask it, I'm going to forget. What is your definition of resiliency?
I mean, entrepreneurship can beat you up, right? I mean, it's not easy. It takes a lot of failure. And for me, I've started to just accept failure as just part of the journey. Like you're going to fail, whether it's big failures, small failures. There's always stuff that happens. My Amazon business before FreeUp, everyone likes to talk about FreeUp, but with the Amazon business, we sold $25 million over 7 years, had a lot of success. A lot of it was luck and timing, and we got into Amazon early, but we didn't adjust, and Amazon kept changing and became harder, and we weren't selling our own products, and we ended up laying off everyone and shutting that business down. So we went from the top of the world to crashing down and never thought we would be in that position. And after that experience, it humbles you. And it's also probably one of the reasons we exited. We had seen a company doing well that crashed pretty quickly. And even if your business doesn't go out of business, there's lots of failures along the way. I've had people try to hack our website, hack our software. I've lost data on the weekends, had to stop everything and do it. Anything from client issues to people quitting on me. Like you experience failure in so many different ways, even if it's just rejection to go on a podcast or get a speaking gig. So you got to know that's part of it. You got to know that most small businesses fail, and the people that keep going and don't let that just stop them, those are the people that show resilience and succeed.
So then, because a lot of people, if they fail in business, they don't fail forward. A lot of them just say, well, I'm not a good business person. I'm not a good businessman. And then they quit. They don't realize that, that failure is an event. It's not a person. And as long as you learn from it, you really didn't fail. Because even, I think the NFL has been around, 100 years? There's only been 100 champions. So that means every year, 31 teams do not make the championship. Does that make 31 teams losers? No. They just realize, okay, next year I got to do something better to get to the next level. So what was it like, all of a sudden you're crushing it on Amazon, and then all of a sudden it's crickets, and now you have to start all over again. What was that like?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You got to learn from the failures. The people that just do the same mistakes over and over again, those are the people that really fail. So what did we learn from this Amazon experience? We did a lot of self-reflection at the time. And the biggest thing is we didn't want to rely on someone else's customer base. For like Amazon controls everything. They can shut it down. They can change the algorithm. New competitors can come up there. So when we had the idea for FreeUp, it was really enticing because it was B2B instead of B2C. We got to have our own website, have our own software. No one could shut us down. Like, don't get me wrong, Google could do something crazy, but for the most part, we own our own business instead of relying on Amazon, building our own email list, stuff like that. So that was the big lesson that we took from the Amazon business, is to not rely on one place. And we take that even now. Like, I go on podcasts. We have a YouTube channel. Go check out our YouTube channels for Outsource School, Ecom Balance, Accounts Balance, Trio SEO. We go on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, and hopefully none of those places cut us off or shut us down, because we're doing our best to follow the rules. But if they do, we've got other places that we're promoting and advertising. So for even that gigantic failure that at the time hurt more like anything I'd ever experienced in life, we got a very valuable lesson that 10, 12, 15 years later, we're still going to be applying to every business that we start.
Okay, so now, like my brother Russell Brunson talks about a lot, is that, one day Zuckerberg could just have a wild hair up his ass, and all of a sudden take you off Facebook. And if your whole business is on Facebook, guess what? You're shit out of luck. So, because like a lot of people ask me, well, what happens if Facebook shuts me down? And I'm like, okay, I got a big following on LinkedIn. I'm big everywhere else. So I'm not focused on one thing. And I think a lot of times, a lot of people get so focused having their business, like you said, on Amazon. Well, what happens when Amazon shuts down? So you have to be omnipresent in today's marketplace, don't you think?
Yeah, completely agree. And I mean, you can even diversify in different ways besides that. My partner, Connor Gillivan, and I, who you guys should definitely follow on LinkedIn, Connor Gillivan, he's crushing it. We have a portfolio of businesses. Hopefully none of them fail, but again, multiple businesses, multiple income streams. Inside our businesses, we diversify our hiring. We don't have one person running the entire business. Even if it's small, it's broken down into customer service and billing and all these different things. So if someone quits, we don't have to spend a year training someone. We just replace one person, and we do our best to keep people and all that, but we're still diversifying. Even inside the businesses, some of them have different offers and different sales channels. So you can diversify in a lot of different ways, even outside of just the marketing aspect, if that makes sense.
And I've been following you for a while. I think I've been following you probably for almost the last 7 years. I've been following everything you've done. And something I've learned from you is I actually have 3 VAs that I work with, because you said, hey, go to the Philippines. So guess what? I went to the Philippines, and I have 3 VAs that actually work for me. And it's working out great for me because, first of all, I don't have to pay benefits. I don't even have to, I pay cash, not cash, but, so I don't even have to worry about a lot of the problems if I hire somebody in the United States. And they're willing to work twice as hard as people here in the United States. And it's so easy. You can go to Fiverr, Upwork, or any of these other places. They're looking for you to work, but a lot of people think they need a lot of money to get a VA, right?
Right. Did you ever join Outsource School?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, everything you just said is what we preach in Outsource School. Like, if you want to grow your business, you got to hire. There's very few 7-figure entrepreneurs out there that are solo. You got to learn how to build a team, and hiring makes everything else easier. I've had video editing tasks and social media tasks and stuff that we're doing as Connor and I promote our personal brand, that just being able to hire makes it so much easier. It speeds up the process. So focus on hiring from the Philippines is a great place to start. And I mean, it's the first thing that you should get down in business: an interview process, an onboarding process, a managing process, and a training process. If you can nail those, it opens up the world for everything else you want to do, from creating a billing system to marketing to sales calls. But you got to be able to hire first.
And I agree. There's a reason why Hormozy and Gary Vaynerchuk are putting me out between 250 to 750 pieces of content a week. They're not doing it all by themselves. They have their team doing it. But I think a lot of people, when they first start their business, either they don't want to give up control, or they just don't know how to find a team. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Every new entrepreneur, they're scared to delegate. I actually have a funny story. When early years of the Amazon business, when we were just starting to make money, and I was going from a broke college kid to having a little bit of success, my parents told me I should probably pay taxes. So I met with an accountant, and the first question the accountant asked me is, when are you going to hire your first person? And I said, why would I do that? That's money out of my pocket. They're going to steal my ideas. They're going to hurt my business. They're not going to be able to do it as well as I did. I can do this 24/7 forever. And I love doing it. And he just laughed in my face and said, you're going to learn this lesson on your own. Well, sure enough, my first busy season came around, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and I was doing it all myself and I got destroyed. I was working 20 hours a day. My social life plummeted. My grades went down. I was miserable. I worked my butt off to keep that business alive because I knew Amazon was quick to shut you down. But I mean, I learned a very valuable lesson about hiring people. And when I got to January, I said, man, I can never let that happen again. And I started hiring my first employee, met my business partner, Connor, and the rest is history. So every entrepreneur, you're either going to hire too early or too late. And if you hire too late, there's a big opportunity cost. You're never going to hire exactly on time. So you might as well start hiring early.
Okay, now today's what, November 8th. So we're going into the holiday season, and I just wrote a big article on LinkedIn last week about customer service during the holidays. And that's where a lot of people in businesses, they lose a lot of customers because either their customer service, they don't have enough people, or they run out of product. And if you only have one chance to make a great impression. So if you're screwed up during the holidays, you're pretty much going to be screwed for the rest of the year. You believe that too?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, in my e-commerce days, my family used to joke because the second I was done eating turkey on Thanksgiving, I would just work for 6 weeks straight after that because that was when you make all your money. And we had people pulling all-nighters back in our younger days. We would order Red Bull and pizza, and people would just work all night. We'd pay people time and a half to just keep going, fulfill the orders, and that was our life at the end of every single year. And I mean, it was great. We crushed it. We made a lot of money. But if you miss out on days there, or you don't have your operations, or you're out of stock of your best products, or whatever it is, that's going to kill your business for sure.
All right. So before we get any further, I want to thank our sponsors. As you guys know, my dad came off the boat from Italy, and something he always said you need a good accountant, a good doctor, a good lawyer, and a good mechanic. And my cousin down below, E&H Friendly Service, are the best auto mechanics in the state of New Jersey. They're not cheap, but they do the job right the first time. So guys, if you are in Hackensack, New Jersey, Bergen County, you need your vehicles worked on, make sure you take them to them because they're going to do it right the first time, and you might not have to see them for a while after that. So guys, check out E&H Friendly Service. But now, Nathan, let's talk because, all right, there had to be a morning where you had to finally shut down the Amazon. And you had to sit thinking, okay, what do I do now? Because the way I look at it is a lot of men and women get out of the military. The day that they're out and no longer in the military, they don't have a mission anymore. They don't have a job. They don't have a career. So what was it like? How did you find your next mission after the first one didn't go as you thought it would?
Yeah, it's funny. It's almost similar, obviously in a different way. But after we sold Free Up, we had no business ideas, and it took us a while to figure out what we want to do next. And after we shut down the Amazon business, it was no different. You're kind of in this gray area where you don't know what you want to do. My parents were both teachers, so they always wanted me to go to college, get a job, have the 401k, and like work something steady with healthcare and all that. So I actually applied to jobs. Looking back, it looks silly, but I had no other entrepreneur ideas in my head. The Amazon business, I felt like I got a little lucky, and it was just great timing. So I had some job offers, and luckily I didn't take any of them. But we had also had all these VAs and freelancers we really liked, and we kind of had the idea to create our own Upwork and Fiverr, and that led us to starting Free Up. And we took those initial VAs and freelancers, and we said, hey, what if we found you clients, and we'll just take a percentage of every hour you work. And luckily they were down, and we could trust them a lot. And we went out and we found them clients and created a minimum viable product, or our software that did very little. It pretty much just kept track of clients' time or freelancers' time for clients. And we just went to market it and tried to prove it. And if people hated our VAs or hated our service, or we couldn't land any clients, we would have just pivoted and tried something else, or maybe I would have gotten a job. But luckily that didn't happen, and Free Up started to explode. And it was another aspect of good timing as well, because although Amazon got harder for people like me that were selling other people's products, everyone else was becoming an Amazon seller for the first time and building Amazon businesses, and they all needed VAs and freelancers. So we were kind of selling shovels to the gold diggers, so to speak. And that became our next business. So it was a brutal time when we shut down the Amazon business. We had to do one-on-one meetings with people and let people know we were letting them go, and people trusted us, and their families trusted us, and it hurt a lot, but we learned so much from it. And luckily it led us to free up. And in hindsight, it couldn't have worked out better.
But now, because I'm the kind of guy that I learn from everything and everybody. Like I said, I've learned from you. I've learned from everybody I have on this show, and I'm on I think my 11th, 100th interview. I have like 6 interviews a day now, but I'm learning something. And I realized that when I go for my walk in the morning and I do my cardio every morning and I'm listening to audiobooks, every garbage day, there's a shit ton of Amazon boxes everywhere. And everybody complains, business owners complain about Amazon and how much they're taking business. But when I talk to them and I say, how many products do you have on Amazon? And they're like, none. I'm like, so how are you going to complain about something when you don't even have products on Amazon? So talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, I know they can be kind of hard to work with, but they can also be a blessing in disguise if you learn to work it the right way. Like our book is on Amazon, so I get a check every single day from Amazon just from our books. So talk about that a little bit, about how Amazon, if you work it right, it can be beneficial to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a product or even a book or ebook, whatever it is, you got to be on Amazon. I mean, there certainly are exceptions of people that refuse to sell on Amazon that crush it and grow their own brand on their own website. It's a lot harder. It's a whole nother animal. So I'm with you. I'm all in on the Amazon. I own a lot of Amazon stock that I bought back in 2008. I shop on Amazon a lot. My sister is the exact opposite. She's boycotted Amazon and won't buy anything from them and only shops local. So, but from a business side, use Amazon, like use it for your book, use it for your product. I don't think it should be your main channel. If you can avoid it, build a Shopify store, drive traffic another way. But Amazon just has so many people viewing Amazon at all times. So you might as well get in front of those people.
I love it. So now it's November 8th, 2023. So talk to us about what business is going to be like in Q4 and Q1 of 24, because things are constantly changing, sometimes on a day-to-day, sometimes on a week-to-week basis, especially with SEO, with marketing and branding. So what do you see coming up on the horizon for Q4 and then Q1?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty bad at predicting the future. It's funny, although I ran an ecom business for years where the fourth quarter was crazy. Now it's kind of the opposite, because if I take my bookkeeping business, for example, half my bookkeeping clients are e-commerce sellers. So they're not trying to talk to the bookkeepers during that time. They're busy. And the other half is like the holidays are just not when you're contacting your bookkeeper. So that business is pretty chill. Outsource School, join our newsletter. We run a bunch of Black Friday and Cyber Monday promotions. Those are coming up, but again, it's nothing like my e-commerce business in terms of time spent during the holidays. And Trio SEO, I mean, we're pumping out high quality content every single month, and the fourth quarter is no different. So for me, just in my situation with my portfolio of businesses, I don't see anything crazy changing. Obviously, there's a lot with AI, but we kind of have the same mentality. No matter what AI does, like we're going to use AI, we're going to use it in our businesses to make it efficient, but we're going to focus on high quality content written by US people, even if there's some AI tools in there that help us speed up the process or do better research. So yeah, nothing's really changed. And I don't know if I can predict the future. Like there's always a chance AI takes over the world and shuts us all down. And if that happens, I'm fortunate that we went through an exit when we did, but I think there's always going to be opportunities for business owners to figure it out. And yeah, that's really all I can say on that.
All right, but then, because now, like I said, I've been stalking you for a while now. Your IG channel is fire. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you. I've been putting a lot of time in that very recently. So you're the first person to tell me that. Thank you.
Yep. But I want to, one thing when a lot of people start businesses, every video, every post is business, business, business. But you're different because you have pictures of your beautiful family, your beautiful baby. So it kind of you become human. And I think if you use the AI, but you're also human and mix them together, you're bound to be way more successful. Where if you're just using AI and if you're just doing post for business, because eventually people just scroll if they're just going to, well, he's just going to do another post about business. So I'm just going to scroll. So are you seeing the same things?
Yeah, I mean, strategy wise, I definitely try to mix it up. I try to relate to people. Like at the end of the day, I'm a father. Where my wife and I were foster parents. We're dog lovers. We live in Denver. We love the outdoors, and I mean, we don't build businesses just to make money. I shouldn't say we. I build businesses but my business partner and I, we build businesses to have a great lifestyle and freedom. We get to work remote and take time off when we want, and travel and build our families. And sometimes people forget why they became an entrepreneur to begin with, and they just are grinding all the time, and every single buck matters. And for me, like, I'd rather make slightly less money but enjoy my life every single day, and be able to create a lifestyle of what I want to do. Even stuff like podcasts, I'm super honored that you had me on this one, but I turn down a lot of podcasts now, not to be mean, just because I don't have time to say yes to everyone. I have a child now. I want to spend time with him, and I only have so many hours in a day that I'm committed to working. So stuff like that, you start to say no to a little bit more and replace it with family time and other things that are important in life. You only live once, right?
Well, for me, and I totally agree, because for me, and I tell everybody, my priorities are God, family, business, and friends. If it doesn't have to do with one of those 3 or 4 things, I don't have the bandwidth for it. So I say a no a lot more than I do say yes, because those are my priorities. And nobody's going to come in front of my family. It's not going to happen, because that's why we do what we do. So, but okay, last question, because we are a teaching podcast. If somebody is Private Joe Snuffy is going to get out of the military November 8th, 2023, he's going to start a business. What would be your top 3 pieces of advice to give a brand new business owner?
Yeah, pick one thing. A lot of people, they try to go out and they're like, oh, I'll build websites, I'll do marketing, I'll do whatever the client needs. I'll figure out how to do it. For me, we do one thing. Outsource School, we sell our hiring process. Bookkeeping, we only do monthly bookkeeping, no add-on services. Charge you on the 1st, books by the 15th every single month. Straightforward. If people want something else, we're not the right fit. For Trio SEO, we only write blog articles every single month. You can tell us how many you want, but we're not doing on-page SEO. We're not doing backlinks. We're just writing keyword-heavy blog articles that rank. And so that's how I would approach it. Pick one thing, whether it's graphic design, video editing, writing. Pick a one service, and then go after a certain niche. So for us, we go after e-commerce, we go after agencies, we go after SaaS, and then from there, it's the same process I follow on all our companies. We come up with a bunch of ideas and we brainstorm back and forth and pick one. We do market research. We find people that would be our ideal client. Richard, if you're a business owner and I think you're my ideal client, I'm going to shoot you a message on Facebook and say, hey, can I send you 5 questions? This isn't a sales call. Can you just give me your feedback? And be honest. If my idea is stupid, tell me. If you wouldn't buy it, tell me. But I want to know. And then if we get good feedback, we say, what's the minimum viable product? What's the smallest thing we can create, the least amount of money that will work? We get that out, and then we launch it with some kind of deal, and we kind of build up to the launch. So we let people know a few months before it happens, hey, we're launching a bookkeeping business. We're going to give 2 free months to anyone that signs up now. Promote it. See if you can land people. If you can't land any clients by giving away 2 free months, you probably don't have a business. There's probably no market for it, or you need to revamp how you do marketing. And then once you get the clients, again, you're asking them for feedback and you're seeing, are they sticking around? And we're only interested in reoccurring revenue businesses. Don't start something that's one-time projects. You're always looking for new clients. That doesn't work. And see if you can keep them around. If that doesn't work, you pivot and you try something else and you repeat it. Market research, MVP, launch with some kind of offer, get feedback, see if you can keep clients around. And only if you can and you pass all those, do you keep working on the business.
Okay. Now, also, but something like I said, once I started following you, you have a very big LinkedIn community. I think you're over 30,000 followers, something like that. And I find that when I talk to people when they're starting into business, I talk to them, do you have a LinkedIn account? Yeah, but I don't go on it much. But I'm like, but that's where the riches are in the niches. That's what Alex said. But I think that if you're in business, you need to be on LinkedIn and building business relationships, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I love LinkedIn. I've been on it for a while. I wish I had done it more, or at least spend time on the strategy side of it. Now I am, and I'm all in. But yeah, I mean, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like you don't have to be on every place at once. That can be overwhelming, but pick one or two and focus on it and build an audience and engage and all that. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of that.
So what's in the future, or what do you got going on right now? And how can we get in touch with you and support your mission?
So Connor and I have a crazy idea. We're building a media company around our two brands. So follow Connor Gillivan, follow me, Nathan Hirsch on any social media channel, engage with our content. We have a portfolio of businesses and we only run businesses in one way, and that's high customer service. We only are interested in you being a client and charging you if you're going to love the business. And if we make a mistake, we make it right. No questions asked, and make sure you're whole again. So we have our outsource school, we have Trio SEO, we have our bookkeeping business. If you're interested in any of those, hit me up and I'll do my best to hook you up there. We'll be launching other what we call boring businesses and using our personal brand to attract other people that are similar to us, that love building businesses, that want to take things off their plate they shouldn't be doing. They want to grow, they want to treat people well, they care a lot about what they're building and how they're building it. And those are the people that we want to work with. So that's what we're focused on right now.
Is there a website to go to, or they just find you on LinkedIn and Facebook?
I just bought nathanhirsch.com. Hopefully by the time people watch this, it'll be live, but probably not. If you go to outsourceschool.com/Nathan, you can find a bunch of free resources from me, or just find me Nathan Hirsch on any social media channel, whether it's LinkedIn or whatever.
I love it, brother. Thank you so much for we finally got together. I'm so appreciative of you. I'm learning from you every day. Guys, make sure you check out his Instagram channel. It's fire. It's fun. It's amazing. I've been binge watching it the last couple of days. So I just want to say, Nathan, brother, I'm so grateful and humbled that we finally got a chance to get together.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. So make sure that you check out verticalmomentumpodcast.com. When you go there, this episode is going to be on it, but you're also going to be able to pick up the t-shirts, the hat, the coffee, the book, everything that's going to help you get stronger physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. I love you guys. And remember, vertical momentum, the only way to go is up. Nathan, my brother, have an amazing weekend. Kiss that baby for me when you can.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.